Welcome to Comfort Time with Aunty Yunike, where we share testimony stories. Our story for today is God finishes what He starts. Have you found yourself in a situation where you pray for something? It could be healing, it could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be anything. And then you get something, or you think you've gotten the answer and you're happy with the answer, and you continue with your life grateful that you got your answer, just to realize later that God is not done with you, that God is still continuing with the blessings. The story I'm going to share with you today is the conclusion of my mother's dramatic healing miracle. And I'll share the link for those who never saw the video to see how it all played out. This is a situation where mom got very sick and the doctors wouldn't even allow me to sit on her bedside, and yet she was in a situation where she could not do anything. She was already like turning gray. I pleaded, the doctors wouldn't let me stay with her, so I went, told the children, I left mom at the hospital, she's not looking very good, let's pray. We prayed. Later on, I went to my room and decided to pour my heart out to God, as I know how, because every situation that really leans on me heavily, it's the only place that I find peace. So got on my knees, lit a candle, got on my knees from midnight. And I'm one person, like I've shared before, when I knew to pray, after a few minutes my knees hurt. But when I went to pray that night, I was thinking of so many things. My mother lives on a farm, looks after orphans, and when I say orphans, it's not only orphans that she picks randomly. These are family members, some of them who have parents who have passed on, some parents who are not able to look after them, and sometimes it's her friend. There was a time when her best friend said, when I die, I want you to take care of my grandson, because her mother had died, the mother to the child. So mom picked that one also. And of course, once in a while, there are people that would just come to be with her because they need support. So she was like a surrogate parent for many other children. And that was her passion, that was her calling. And of course, all of us, my siblings and I, had to chip in, giving her what she needs, because sometimes she would say, okay, I don't have this, I don't have that, and we would all chip in and support her in her passion of looking after other people. So now when she got that sick, I have my own stuff going on. And being the eldest, now that my elder brother had passed on, I knew that should anything happen to mom, should she pass on or go to be with the Lord, then I have to embrace whatever that issue, whatever her passion was, I have to take care of it. And I really was not in the headspace to do that. So I knelt and prayed and asked God to please give mom more time to finish the program that she had started. I prayed in such a way that I was able to relate to that verse in the Bible where it says Jesus prayed and sweated blood. This is praying where every fiber in you is crying out to God to hear you. And I was not surprised when the very next day I was told to go and pick up my mother. And the book that I used, the prayer that I used for the miracle, was called Miracle Hour by Linda Schobert. And this can be found at any Christian bookshop. You can even find it online. It's a powerful book. It's really good for any kind of miracle that you may be seeking. So anyway, I did that. Mom got healed. I went to the hospital and picked her and brought her home. A month later, she was able to now go back to her place on the Copper Belt and continued with her life. But then she felt bad and she went to the hospital. She didn't feel so good. When she went to the hospital, they said, "What drugs are you on?" So she showed them the drugs. And they said, "Why are you taking these drugs?" So she said, "Oh, they were given to me at the hospital in Lusaka." So they said, "No, why?" They, "Oh, ask my daughter." So the doctor called me. "Your mother has some drugs that she's taking. They're very strong. And we want to know why she was given these drugs. What did the doctor say?" I said, "Oh yeah, she had a near-death experience. She's hypertensive. She had forgotten to take her drugs for about 3-4 days. So when eventually she collapsed and was taken to the hospital, the doctor said her heart had enlarged and that she needed to be on those drugs daily, just to maintain the shape of the heart so that it doesn't get any bigger, and for her health. So she has to be on those drugs." Then they said, "Can you send us the x-ray that was done in Lusaka? Because we have just done our own x-ray here, so we'd just like to compare." So I said, "Sure." So I got that x-ray to them. They took the 2 x-rays and compared, and they're like, "What we are looking at now is nothing short of a miracle." I said, "What do you mean?" Says, "Your mother, we can see, had an enlarged heart, but in this picture, her heart is back to normal. And that does not happen." It was then I realized just what God had done that day. That when I prayed for that healing, He didn't just heal my mother. He operated on her and brought her heart back to normal. And so she didn't need those strong drugs anymore. They changed her drugs and gave her something that could accommodate the situation it was in. But they said she's totally healed. So I was like, my God, God really finishes what He starts. And the moral of this story is that you could be passing through something. Maybe you too have asked God for healing and you're feeling better and you're thinking that's it. No, trust that total healing is on the way. Maybe it's a relationship. It's not going as well as you would want it to go. Let it go. God has better for you. Have you heard of that story of the postal box story or a mail? So a mail that a letter that came through a mailbox. So what happened was a letter came in the mailbox. This lady was very happy. She went, saw the letter, didn't even take time to look at the small writing, opened the letter. She was really, really excited. Started reading. As she read, the more she read, she realized, no, this is not my letter. So she felt sad. She put the letter back in the envelope. That's when she looked at the address. She saw there was one number which was for a different place, not hers. So she sealed it and took it back to the post office for it to continue its journey to the rightful person. So what that shows is that not everything that comes in your life is meant for you. Sometimes you get into a situation where in a relationship that really is challenging, Maybe it was just a lesson that you were supposed to learn from that relationship. It was not supposed to go for the long haul. So accept, learn the lesson, and move on. Don't fight things that you have seen are not working. Sometimes it's maybe a relationship in the family. Be sensitive, be discerning. Always see your place. Where you can help, help. Where you can't help, where you are seeing that here you are not being appreciated or you are not wanted, accept, give space, wait for God to guide you. So always we have to be discerning. Not everything that comes to us is supposed to stay. Some things come to us to teach us a lesson and goes away. We learn and better things are coming. So don't hold on to everything. I thought I should share this story. I was really blessed with my mom's healing, and it was not just healing, it was total healing. So pray for that, expect it, and it will be all yours. Thank you very much for watching. I pray you've already subscribed. If you haven't, please do. Also remember to give us a thumbs up. It helps to grow the channel, and share widely so that everybody can get to hear our story. Comfort Time continues. Stay blessed. See you in the next video.